Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back. A little bit of a later stream. I was super busy. I had class and everything, and had a long day. So I think this is probably gonna be the shortest stream possible. We'll be back at it for a little bit longer tomorrow. Tuesdays are one of my what is today? Wednesday. Wednesdays are some of my hard days. So I think what we're gonna do here is just gonna do a LeetCode problem and call it a day. So we'll probably take a look at the problem of the day, see what we got here. Sort vowels in a string. Let's pull up Excali draw here. Okay. Let me grab my phone. 1 second. Oh. Okay, let's take a look at this problem. So, given a 0 and x string s, permute s to get a new string t such that all constants remain in the usual places. More formally, there's an I with si is a consonant. All consonants remain in their original places. More formally, if there's an index I with 0 is less than or equal to I is less than or equal to the same length such that si is a constant, then ti is equal to si. The vowels must be sorted in non-decreasing order of their ASCII values. More formally, for pairs of I, j. Dude, what is my nose doing? Zero is less than I is less than j is less than. Vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and they can appear in lowercase or uppercase. Consonants comprise all letters that are not vowels. E, O, E are the vowels in S, L, T, C. Or the consonants. The vowels are sorted. E, what is it here? I'm a little bit confused what we're doing here for this problem. Let's take a look here. So we're given this, our output. Oh, the vowels are sorted in according to their ASCII values. Coding with Craig, dude. What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you again. S consists only of English letters and English alphabet. Yeah, you know, I'm a little confused what exactly this problem's asking, so I'm gonna get a better explanation. I feel like this description is pretty poor. Hope you're good, man. Yeah, dude, you too, dude. Appreciate you joining the stream, bro. So let's get a better explanation here. Sort vowels. Better description. You have a string S. You need to sort only the vowels, in both lowercase and uppercase, in non-decreasing order, based on their ASCII values. Let's see here. How's your day been coding with Craig? It's been good. Okay. So I think I understand what we're doing here, right? So in this here, we have let's grab a text element here. Shit, dude. How do we get the text here? Oh. Why is it so small, dude? Okay. So I think the first step here is we have to pull all vowels, right? It's been great, bro. God's been with me. That's great, dude. That sounds awesome, dude. Happy for you, bro. We have to pull all vowels, right? In this case here, we're gonna be working with E, Zinc, dude. What's up, bro? Good to see you, man. O and E, right? And what we want to do here is we want to sort these two, right? We want to sort these based on ASCII, right? Sort by ASCII, right? In that case here, it looks like here we're gonna have A O E E, right? And then 3, we need to put it back in the original string, right? So what we're gonna have here is L E E T C Leet C, and then ED. No, sorry, EO. Sorry, no, we'll have, my bad. We would have LEOTCEDE. Is that what we have? Okay, yeah. So that's correct. Right? I finally understand remote events and where to use Fire class as Fire server lol. And didn't you say the best way to do is just make a project? Do you learn from mistakes in the project or use your knowledge? Yeah, good question. Yeah, dude. I honestly, I just started making projects, and yeah, I just learned from my mistakes, right? I mean, you know, I might be, when I was learning how to make a full stack application, I was learning how, the back end, the front end works, and I realized it's only really API calls on the back end, and you just call that on the front end and stuff like that. So it's like, just make stuff, dude, and research. I want to I want to implement this feature. This is what I want to do. You Google it, or you use ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, and you figure out how to do it, and then you implement it, and then you're like, oh shit, well now I know how to implement this, and then the next time you go ahead and do it, you'll have some sort of an idea how to do it. Maybe you still have to look it up again, but at least you'll have some sort of an idea about how to do that, right? You've implemented it before. So just learn by doing, right? Well, if I don't know, check in my head or need something, I look up in the documentation. Yeah, I mean, you can do that too. You can look at the documentation. Yeah. I mean, there's resources on the internet. There's, documentation. There's AI that can help you too. Like, it's just however you want to learn. I don't think whatever you do, is fine. So, as long as you're learning how to implement it. So, I'm trying to think here. So, I'm thinking for this, right? For this problem. I might be over-engineering it, but I'm thinking here we use a hash map, right? For this part here, right? And when I think about a hash map, I'm thinking we store the key as the value that we're looking at, and then the value being the index, right? Because then, right, we can store that in a hash map. I'm trying to think, is that the way we want to go about this? Sorting. String sorting. Let's see. Does C++ sort by ASCII value? I'm not sure, honestly. When you sort a std string, alright. When you if you have an array, if you have an vector, sorry, if you have a vector of chars, does it sort by ASCII? I'm honestly not sure. I think it does, but I'm not 100% sure. Numerical representation was typically the ASCII value or Unicode value. Okay. So that makes me think, right? Maybe we just want to grab this in an array, right? Okay. So block out the hash map. We grab this in an array, right? We then sort the values, right? How can we find out if it is a value, right? Maybe we can have... If I'm a beginner dev game maker, when do I make a game or project like a mechanic or shaking my head? I don't know what I should start to make, to be honest. Well, I mean, that's your issue, man. Like, you know, you should have your game mapped out. You know, you should have the exact features of what you want in your game, right? So maybe you want to make a 2D platformer with, you know, a trading system in it with a, you know, I don't know, like maybe you want your character to be able to like shoot fireballs when you press F. I don't know, like whatever it is, right? You need to plan out your game. You need to know what you want, because if you're just kind of going with the flow and you're like, oh, man, I just want to make a game, put something on the screen, maybe I'll get it to, you know, be able to walk on water or like shoot whatever. Like, you got to plan this out, and then, you know, building these sort of games and building these sort of things requires research. You know, you're not just going to know how to do it. No one just knows how to do it. Do I know how to like make, you know, my character shoot a fireball? I mean, roughly, but it's like, you know, it still requires a lot of research. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, like how am I going to load in the texture? You know, how am I going to handle, to be honest, I want to make a 2D game for me, I would have to learn C-frames and how to control the camera to do that. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, but that's all part of the process, bro. Like, and the one thing I didn't realize till now is that you're never going to know how to do everything. You know what I mean? And that's just what programming is. That's just what creating software is. You know, you're just constantly researching, right? The whole time. That's why there's all those memes out there, bro, like with programmers. Like, you know, they're just copying code off the internet. You know, nowadays it's just copying code off AI or whatever. But it's like, you know, you still need to know how to like put it together and how to do these things and have, you know what you want to do, right? But it's like, programming is all research, you know, and it's all, you have to know the feature that you want to make, and then you have to research how to make those features, you know, and then implement the feature. So it's like, you know, you're always going to be learning. That's why I try and tell you, like, you got to get off all these tutorials, bro. Like, the tutorials teach you the basic, right? How you do it. But if you keep following tutorials, you're never going to be able to build it yourself, you know? So, you know, find the features that you want to build and just implement them. Research how to implement a camera, bro. I have no fucking idea how to implement a camera. But, you know, you just got to research how to do that. It's probably a lot of math, right? You know, coming in here, right? Here, look at this game. I'll give you a great example. So I'm building this 2D top-down shooter game, right? And I built the... Let's see, I believe it's in here. So I was doing a point to polygon test, or I was doing a point to segment test, right? Do you think I know how to do all this advanced math, bro? Like to do all these polygon tests, like a polygon to a point or a polygon versus a circle? Like, bro, I have no idea. Like, you know, maybe if you're a great math guy, maybe you'll know all the formulas and you know how to do all of it. But no, like, I had to research how to do this and then implement it. You know what I mean? But it's like, you know, that's fine. Like, at the end of the day, like, you know, you're a software engineer, you know, you're a programmer, whatever, like, right? You're programming these things. You're not a math wizard, how you know how to do a polygon to circle test off the top of your head. Like, you know, no one really knows how to do that. Like, you know, and until, like, I feel like the important thing is just realizing that, you know what I mean? And just researching how to make the things that you want to make, you know, the things that make you excited about programming. Anyway, let's get back to this. So, unordered set. All right, we want some integers. Let's call this our vowels, right? And let's probably implement this, right? We have A, E, I, O, U, A, E, I, O, U. So if I asked you to redo that formula, would you be able to? So if I asked you to redo that formula, if you asked me to do a polygon versus a point test, probably not, dude. I'm not gonna be able to do it off the top of my head. No chance. Like, I did that. I implemented that like a month ago, dude. I got no idea. I seen a game have to look up a math thing for C++. He was coding in a simulation of a black hole, and he needed some sin and cos for it to calculate the number. Obviously, you're a good coder in C++, man. Thank you, bro. I've just been learning, bro. I only picked up C++ 2 months ago, and I don't know shit about it. You know what I mean? But it's like now I know stuff, like, and I enjoy it. So I just keep programming C++. People, you know, they come on the stream, they're like, dude, why don't you use Python for, you know, DSA or whatever? But it's like, I don't know, dude. I'm not trying to like learn DSA. Like, I feel like I have a good idea about DSA, but it's like, you know, that's all you need, right? I'm just trying to like, I just enjoy doing LeetCode because it's fun. You know, I do a problem a day. It keeps my problem-solving skills sharp, and you know, I work on my projects and stuff. So some days, bro, I can't code as much as the other ones. Like today, I was super busy, bro. Like I had class, I had shit going on. So like, you know, I'm not able to program a lot. But you know, it's just being consistent. What exactly is DSA? DSA, data structures and algorithms. 2 months ago, and what you are so good. Then give me your ways, dude. I mean, I just watched this guy's series, bro. Chono C++. He has a Welcome to C++ series here, bro. I mean, I haven't watched the whole thing. I try to, bro, but I get busy, obviously. I mean, I'm going to finish the series, but
Hazel.
he has a C++ series on here. Yeah, here we go.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Cherno, and welcome
He doesn't really
to a
do
brand.
any code examples. He kind of, I mean, he does a little bit, but he just mainly talks about everything C++, like all the features in it. You know, I still have to go through everything, but you know, it's a good series. Like, so you just look up what you need. Well, dude, I've been programming a little while, so like, you know, I don't need to look at everything, but it's like, yeah, the features in C++ and stuff like that, like, you know, the memory management, the pointers, references, you know, stuff that's like unique to C++. Yeah, I have to, bro. I've never worked in a low-level language like C++ before. Like, I've worked a little bit in C in college, but like, I'm not really actually doing C. You know, I'm just doing homework assignments. You know, I'm not learning shit. You know what I mean? But now, like, I you know, I want to build a game engine in C++. That's my goal, right? You know, and I'm gonna do that, right? Right now, I'm super busy. Like, I got classes, dude. I'm building some software. I got a group of guys that I got to manage. I'm the team lead for the project. So it's like, you know, I'm busy with that. You know, I like to make these videos and stuff because I'm preparing for jobs. You know, I'm applying to jobs and doing stuff like that. Hey, Ryan, what's up, dude? And working on my projects. Do you recommend CS50? Honestly, I know what CS50 is. I mean, it's the Harvard course. I have never looked at it, so I'm not able to comment on that. But it looks pretty good. I've heard good things about it. So, do I just look up what you need? Yeah, mostly. Yeah, I mean, bro, like, this is just a good example, right? When I'm thinking about a point to polygon, right? A circle point to a polygon test. Does anyone in like here know how to do that, bro? Like, no. Like, right? I mean, I can read the code, you know, like I know what it's doing, right? But really, like, deep down when I think about the serious math, like these formulas here, you know what I mean? Like, you know, do I really need to know exactly what these formulas are doing? No. Like, I just need to have like the general overview of like how we're doing the point and polygon test, like how we're doing the point to segment distance, you know, like, you know, we're passing in a const, you know, SDLF point, whatever an SDLF point is, right? It's a float X and a float Y, right? I'm passing in 3 points, A, B, and P, you know, and then I'm applying these specific formulas and returning the distance, right, to this specific point that we're testing, right? I mean, I don't deep down know the exact math and the formulas. Like, maybe I can learn that. Maybe I can, you know, open Excalidraw and draw it and shit like that. But it's like, hey, I just started the backend lecture part, Node.js basics. I don't know why it feels kind of hard. Any tips? Any tips? I mean, not really, man. Maybe doing extra research. I don't know. Like, honestly, it's been a while since I've looked at the Node.js part. I don't really exactly remember what a lot of the episodes were, but so where are you up to? You're up to here. Yeah, I mean, look, man, the only tips I can give you is maybe look at some more YouTube videos. I don't know. If not, just, do the projects, right? Like the projects, create the blog application. Just keep pushing through, bro, because the more you push through, the more you learn. I think it eventually clicks. The more you build, right? You need to build things. So, should I make it where you touch a coin and it adds +1 a coin to a GUI on the screen, then equal to your client only, so every player has their own stats, and I'll make the coin system handle and server script? I mean, yeah, you can do that, bro. I mean, if that's what interests you, if that's fun to you, do that, right? If you want to build a C++ game, go learn C++ and build a game in C++. If you want to, build a full stack web application, maybe some sort of website, go learn full stack web development with, React and Node.js or something. Or maybe you want to do, I don't know, a different framework, Angular and something else. I don't know. Like, go research how to do it, like, if you like Java, maybe you want to do your backend in Java, for your full stack application, go learn Spring Boot in Java, the library, like, so just, yeah, all good. Yeah. And I mean, no worries. I mean, I'm always willing to help and answer questions, but, really at the end of the day, I'm learning Python machine learning Python. That's great, bro. You know what the thing is? Someone told me you're already one step ahead if you're actually building shit. You know what I mean? Because no one does that, right? No one goes out of their way and learns things. No one goes out of their way and purchases the Udemy course and watches 60 hours of content. Like, bro, that's a lot of content. Like, I guarantee you 90% of the people that buy that course probably buy it and never even look at it, because it's hard, bro. No one wants to watch 60 hours of content. No one wants to put in the effort to build these games. No one wants to learn C++ and put in the effort to build a game unless you're really passionate. You know what I mean? Hola, what's up, Danilo? You're one step ahead by already knowing that and just building, right? You just want to keep building and keep building and keep building and just keep learning, bro. Like, you learn by doing. You learn by making mistakes and doing, Half the time, like, bro, we're building a restaurant management system, right, in my class, right? My team is building a restaurant management system. Do I have any idea how to build a restaurant management system? I mean, sort of. Like, some of the features he talks about that would need to be implemented. Yeah, I'm like, okay, I've done that before. I think I have a good idea of how to do that. But, like, you got to break it down. You got to break it down to what exactly you want to achieve. Okay, maybe, I want to make 6 different roles. I want an admin role. I want a user role. I want a whatever role. Like, you got to break it down. You got to break it down to small little goals, right, until you achieve the whole thing, right? So it's like, it's just breaking it down, like really think about the logic, researching, that's just what programming is, Sorry, bro, I'm getting so off track about this problem here, but here we got the vowels in here, right? So I'm going to create a little function here. We're returning a string here, so let's do a std string. We don't even need to do std in here, but let's just do res here, right? So we have our vowels here, right? Our first step was that we want to pull all vowels, right? So maybe we can do that with a string, because maybe we can just do dot sort on the string. std string dot sort. Let's just see the documentation here for C++. I'm pretty sure there's a sort, right? Or what is a sort function? Can you give a string? Is it std sort? Yeah. Template sort random last first. Okay, so yeah, it should be fine. Okay. So I'm thinking here instead, maybe we want to actually store the string here. So maybe we want to store. I have to rethink about how we want to do this. We were using our vowels here with an array. We need the index values, right? Or else we're not able to properly index them back. So maybe let's put them in an array. Let's just go back to our original thought and just put them in an array, right? And just think about it as we go, right? So let's loop here for int I is equal to 0, I is less than s dot size. We want I plus plus, right? We want to do an actual loop because we want access to the index, right? Then I would probably do, okay, well, let's do if si. How do we check that something's in a set? How can we check something is in a set? Hash heap. Look, and here's an exact thing. Like, I don't remember exactly what the function is to check what's inside a set in a unordered set, because I just don't remember, right? Like, it's You know what you just said is the truth, but at the point where you think you're one step ahead of everyone, my brain says that there's some people who have done it too and are really ahead of you. I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, bro, there's always going to be people that are better than you. You know, there's a million people better than me at doing anything that I have interest in, right? But, you know, I just have passion for, like, writing code and making things and learning, you know? So it's like, is my brain raising the standards or what? But it happens a lot. Yeah, I mean, I just think, to me, you know, when I think about that Udemy course, I think, you know, there's 60 hours of content there. I guarantee you, bro, like, you know, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty confident that 90% of the people that buy that course never finish it, right? And you're one of those people that finish it. You know, I think that course, man, I'll be completely honest, I think I learned more in that course than I did in my entire college degree. And I know that's a crazy statement, right? And I think go to college is great. You know, I think you learn a lot. I learned a lot of my foundational programming from college, but it's like, that course was just rich with material, and it was a great, Angela Lee, whoever did that course, is just a great, you know, professor, I guess you want to call it, or whatever, like teacher. You know, I learned so much in that course. None of that stuff that I learned about front end and back end development, I learned in college. You know, I learned from that course. So it's like, I just think it's just a great foundational tutorial series. I think if you watch that tutorial series and you complete the projects properly, you know, and you actually learn, like, I think it's probably one of the best courses out there I've ever watched. Like, and I'm not super interested in web development. I just wanted to learn something, you know. I wanted to learn about back-end and front-end development. That's why I wanted to watch it, you know. I wanted to learn about APIs. I wanted to learn about REST APIs. You know, they didn't teach me REST APIs in college. Maybe they do in others, but in mine they didn't. They never even said REST in college for me. So it's like, you know, a lot of it was my own research. So yeah. Anyway, let's think here. How do we check if it's inside of a set here? So dot find, right? If si, let's do vals dot find si, right? Does not equal my set dot end, does not equal vals dot end, right? Which references the null point value. Oh, yeah. So if it doesn't equal vals.end, so we found it. This means we have found it, right? What do we want to do with it if it's in the set, right? We want to probably add it to... How do we want to go about doing this? Well, we want... Try to think here, what's the best way to do this? Because we're going to need that index value too, right? Trying to think about the best way we can do this. I guess we don't really need the index value, right? Because we can just replace it all as we see a val, right? So, yeah, dude. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm going to finish that course. You should, man. Again, I only recommend... I didn't fully finish the course. I mean, you can see, right? I mean, in my little thing here. Well, if it loads, but... we'll wait for it to load. Oh. See, I didn't fully finish the course. I did 324 out of 386. But I did what I wanted out of the course, right? Like, you can come in here. I think I've showed it before, but... You know, I did all of these series from the beginning. Like, I knew HTML and CSS. I just did it anyway, because fuck it. But I got it away and I got up to React.js, right? And I finished React.js, right? After this stuff, I wasn't really any interested in Web3 or ICP or, you know, building this stuff. You can do it if you want, but I stopped at React because that was the end for me. You know, that was enough for me. I learned React and I went and started building things, you know? So, you know, the first thing I actually built for someone was my internship project here. You know, you can come in here and you can check the code. Like, you know, this is what it was. I've kind of spoke about it before, but it's my internship project. It took me about 6 weeks to build. I mean, you can see like all these commits I had on here, bro. I think I have like literally 80 commits, dude, on this project. It took me like 6 weeks to build this you know, this was the first thing I built, like 70 commits or whatever, right? But it's like, I'm coding my own game right now, working on the coin event and lead a stat. Let's go, Zinc, dude, that's great. But, you know, and then I started working on Rate My Frat. By the way, I'm coding my game. Oh, sorry, I just read that. It says 200 of 386 for me. There you go. But you're making progress, Ryan. And dude, you did it way faster than me, bro. Like, so, I started working on Rate My Frat. I mean, I haven't worked on it in like 2 weeks. I've just been so busy, but yeah. And then we got this restaurant management system. I had to set it up for the guys, but in my team. But I'm gonna start working on this. So it's like, I don't know. Then obviously we have the game, right? And my game here that I was working on. Shit. And then I worked on a Java game a little while ago. I don't know where it was. I called it alpha game. I don't know where it went. Anyway, I built another Java game, but oh yeah, here it is. But yeah, I don't know, just for fun. Need to learn Git and GitHub. Can you suggest something? Your GitHub profile looks great, man. Thank you, bro. Learn Git and GitHub. I don't know. I would just say just start putting your code on your GitHub, right? Just start pushing code to GitHub. You'll learn the commands quickly. It's pretty easy to pick up. I think there's like live GitHub stuff that you can learn on the internet. GitHub, like web. Hang on, it's like learn GitHub or something. There's like, I actually think in the tutorial, dude, that Udemy tutorial, they have a GitHub section. I would just say just look at that, like, so I don't know. They teach you a little bit. You'll learn, bro. Just start pushing your code up there, Ryan. Like, I know you're making things already, but all those projects that you make, like, just push them to GitHub. Like, you'll learn how to, how to stage stuff, how to commit, how to, push the code, how to, clone a repo, how to branch, how to, I'm low expert on GitHub. I mean, I know the main stuff, but it's like, I don't know, like, the super advanced things. So it's like, just keep learning and just, just do it, Stop pushing your shit. Anyway, okay. So we're looping through. If we found it, we probably want to add it to an array, right? So let's create an array here, or a vector. We want a vector of int. Let's just call it char. Let's call it vals found. I don't know what else to call it, right? So we can do vals.found. Sorry, vals.pushback. And let's push back si, right? And really here, I believe we can just do an std sort on our thing here. So std sort. How does this work? Const type one. Run a bit first, run a bit last. So I believe we just give it an iterator. So what it would be, vals found dot begin, vals found dot, what is it, dot end maybe? I don't know. Yeah, thanks for the advice, Max. I'll get back to my lecture now. Good luck with today's stream. Thank you, Ryan, dude. Appreciate you stopping by, man. Keep grinding, dude. So yeah, let's do a void print vec. We want to pass in a vector of integers, vals found. Need a reference though. Okay, so for val in vals found std, what is it, like cout val val, let's add this, I think, is it like that? I don't know. Then if let's actually access our index here. int I is 0, I is less than vals found, I plus plus, right? Do C out, we need to change this to vals found I. This needs to be dot size though. We want to loop, we want to check, okay, well if vals found, sorry, if I is equal to trying to think here. Okay, that's probably a better way to do it. Let's grab this here. Do this. Do this. See out. Let's do this. And we can see out and do what this. Let's do that, and then call the print function here. So print vec vals found. Yep, I think that should work. Let's see how this looks. Identify a. Oh shit! I think we have to make these actually strings, dude. Or maybe we won't. I think these are. Why are we doing ints, dude? This should be char. Okay, let's see what happens here. Remember push back and SCD. Oh yeah. What is vals here? Oh shit, this should be vals found. Need a return type here. Let's just return res. Can return res here just as a return hello. Just for fun for now. Okay, so if v.size, if vals found dot size, I need a colon. SCD 69, 79, 101, 101. Why are we doing that here? Why are we pushing the ASCII value? That's so weird. ASCII values. Bro, it's not loading, dude. $69. What is 69? E. So it is converting it to ASCII values. That's so weird, dude. That's so interesting, bro. Like, it's converting it directly to ASCII values. I didn't think it did that. Let's see what it does here when we print the vector before we sort it. Print vec vals found. Is it the dot sort that turns it to ASCII? Oh shit. Print back. Oh my gosh, dude. Let's fix this print statement here. Oh shit, how do you understand? Let me sleep, bro. God bless you. Thank you, bro. God bless you too, dude. And let's put that there. Okay, so for some reason, okay, so it is sorting there, right? Okay, so let's put these values back in now, right? So now in our step 3, right, we want to put the values back in, right? So to put the values back in, probably want to initialize an index value, right? Okay, so probably like some sort of pointer, right? Let's do this pointer to array, right? Then we probably want to loop, right? In I is 0, I is less than s dot size I plus plus, right? Let's do the same check here. So if we see it, if vals.find si, vals.end, we want to replace si to be equal to si is equal to what is the array called? Vals found index, right? Then we want to increase our index by 1. Let's see maybe if I don't know if this is gonna do this properly, but oh, that's so interesting, bro. I didn't know that about C++. Like, wow. Okay, I didn't know that about C++. So I think it's because this is the type, right? The type of our print vec is integers, right? So it automatically converts it. I did not know that. I did not know. Let's take this code. Wow. I found that out by mistake. That's crazy. So we're pushing the vals into our vector here because our vector is of type integer. It automatically converts it to ASCII. But if I had this as a char, which is what I should have had, I was planning on having, I wouldn't have found this. So that's really interesting that it does that. And then it automatically converts it back, right? Because we have a string type, right? And it automatically converts this ASCII into a char, right? That's really interesting. std string is a char under the hood, right? I mean, it's a class template basic string char t trace. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Nice. So we did daily problem. It was a good problem. I think I'm gonna log off for the night. Probably gonna work a little bit on my project, but I gotta call my girlfriend. So appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back at it tomorrow for definitely a longer stream. It's just tough tonight because I had class and everything, but so we're just gonna do one problem for today. But appreciate you guys. Peace.